For most of us, the past 9 months have been a waiting game that was filled with dreaming about the moment that's finally here, opening day of bow season. Through those months, our efforts were spent with friends and family paying attention to any detail that might prepare us for the adventure ahead, and now there's no going back. And why would we want to? Smack dab in the middle of the fall shift, at this point in time, our entire team has a buck or two consuming their every thought, adding fuel to the already hot fire that lights on October 1st. Unfortunately, though the day is full of excitement, the ability to look at the bigger picture is crucial. Just because there's a big buck to hunt doesn't mean today is the day to hunt him. Looking back at the first 2 episodes, not much has changed of what seemingly is the winning combination to tag an early season giant. Locate ninja-esque access and hunt the best available food or water source as tight to bedding as you can, and you just might be in the game. Not every property sets up that way, however, and with the resurgence of the massive buck known as OG, Caleb Greiner is holding out hope that Lucky may soon return. With intel that nearby crops are being harvested, Caleb devises a plan for the opening morning of Iowa's bow season.
Okay, it's about 5 o'clock in the morning. Woke up at about 3:30 this morning to get down here on time, and the neighbor to the south, where I only have permission just to run cameras, I can't hunt over there, they're cutting beans right now. Got a picture of them doing it the other night, and I think that with those beans being cut, I thought that those deer would be out there feeding first thing in the morning, and then we'd catch them coming back to the north. We just drove past there, and they're still out there. It looks like they're cutting beans still, and there was a truck out there that drove out by the combine, so I would think most of the deer are going to be pushed up to the north. So with that being said, I'm not safe to access it. I know all these deer are going to be pushed to the north, right on the property where we're trying to walk in, and I just do not want to risk spooking anything on this farm. I want it to stay as a sanctuary, so to say. I want these deer to feel safe. We might drive around first thing this morning, wait till first light, see if we can see Lucky. The last word that I got, someone might have seen him about 2 miles away, maybe to the west, when they were cutting beans, so might go on a permission hunt today. That's what we might end up doing. All right, we're getting to the Hollywood farm. We did not hunt this morning. Like we said, we chose to drive around, saw a few does. I mean, kind of as we thought. It's gonna be really hot the next few days, so the buck movement's probably gonna be super minimal. If they are gonna move, they're gonna be super close to their beds. So probably gotta be within 100 to 150 yards from them. But I really thought that, I thought that this farm was gonna be really good about this time of year, the first week. And we got a northwest wind coming, which is perfect for this stand that I have, or at least a tree that I picked back here, but I think I need to get 2 steps on it, at least 2 more. So we're gonna go back, do that, put a couple cameras here, and then I'm gonna go knock on some doors and hopefully get some permission. So let's roll.
While Caleb does his best to locate one of the open country monarchs, the rest of our team observes the board to make a decision. Mike Reed's decision is easy. The hunt for DK is going to have to wait, as a full day of working the ER and being on call will keep him out of the woods.
Look good, flew straight.
Owen Reigler has earned the exact situation Caleb alluded to in his hunt for the Loch Ness Monster. Owen has a good idea where the buck likes to bed. He's the one who improved it over the years through various TSI practices. Tack on the lush monster buck green plot directly to the edge and it's a killer setup. Caution wins today with hot conditions, and Owen decides to play things safe with a bit better weather incoming in a few days.
Sure enough, got into the tree, but I still heard foam. Let's go see where we hit him. Unless you can zoom in from there.
I think Loch Ness is in trouble, guy.
Whoa, looks like I put it right in there. Yes.
The only person planning to make a move on a target buck is me. October 1st will forever be one of my favorite days, as my mind always drifts to the memory of tagging the velvet buck with one of my best friends, Caleb Greiner, in the tree with me. Conditions on that particular day were perfect, with high barometric pressure and crisp north winds. Simply put, we placed all the chips on the table that night, and it paid off in a big way that I'll never forget. Today, like everyone's pointed out, is the very opposite. Continuous heat has plagued us the past few days, but my particular situation with the big 9 and drop tine plays well into this circumstance. 2 big ponds nearby are the perfect food plot, and my strategy is simple. Wait as long as possible to make the hour-and-a-half drive and make the short walk to the recently placed redneck hay bale blind. 140 miles to the southeast, Zach Rosmus is heading to Area 52 with a busy year of work behind him. With the perfect location to hunt does, he arrives early with the task of hanging 2 stands ahead of him.
Alright guys, welcome to Midwest Whitetail, October 1st. First hunt of the season, and anticipation is really high. It's just good to be in a tree. This is a really cool spot down here in Area 52. We are set up on a clover plot that kind of is a transition to grain, and this is a spot that I transitioned into a clover plot right away on this farm. It was a food plot the very first year I bought it, and the clover looks really great. Kind of has a lot of things going for it. We got a green source, we got acorns on the ground in front of us, easy in and out, and could be a spot for doe management. But the other thing is too, there's been a kind of mature buck that's been showing up down here. He's been in the middle of the night, so nothing daylight yet, but you never know. I feel like I've been smiling all day because it just feels good to be out here, and it's a beautiful spot to kick off the 2023 season.
While Zach settles in overlooking the clover in front of him, 140 miles to the west, I'm hitting the road to head to the Big Bird farm. Well, opening day here, October 1st, state of Iowa. Best of luck to everybody out in the woods tonight. It is a surreal feeling to know that we're going to be going after 2 awesome bucks this evening. And I think, like we've mentioned a couple of times now, despite this heat, I think we're in the game. We got food, we got water, we got cover, all really tight to this hay bale blind location. And we got a slight improvement from when we left the house. It was 93, it's now 91. But it's 5:18, definitely the latest I've ever gone in to sit opening day. But we've got a very short walk, and after talking it over with Alex, we really did not gain anything by going in early except the opportunity to sweat more. So very eager to see what the 23 bow season has in store. Hopefully, for some off-the-wall reason, one of these bucks wants to walk. Time will tell.
Well, we're getting set up here in the blind, and as best as we can tell, our wind is consistent. I am very excited to see what kind of deer movement we get into. My furthest shot is 27. Closest is gonna be at 6. So it is toasty. We're sweating. We got 2 ozonics running. Perfect wind. We're not gonna take any chances. And we're hopefully gonna learn something tonight. That's my main thing. We're gonna settle in here. Day number 1, Big Bird Farm. See what we get into. use your phone to film the does. As far as I can tell, he's still there. All right, well, it got real chaotic there at the end. We had that dang doe and her yearling come up, and they got all wiggy because I told Alex to try and film them, and his phone light turned on, and that was my bad. We shouldn't have done that, it was too dark. As soon as they got close, I looked back on that pond dam. Sure enough, I saw a big body. I look at Alex and I go, I bet that's him. And golly, he is a big deer. He went straight from that bottom into the pond. And there's a spot there I think we could potentially move this bail blind. Be a risky move, but golly, he was early. Our theory was close. I mean, I haven't had this deer on camera in like 6, 7, 8 days. But he's right there. He's in this little gap. And we gotta kill him before he gets out of there and moves on for the rut. So, insane night, October 1st, 90 degrees, encounter number 1 with the drop time. Season on, game on.
Back on stand with Zach, he's still waiting on his first deer sighting of the evening.
We have about 15, 20 minutes left of legal shooting, and we were throwing around the skunk word for a little while. I was a little worried about it, that we were gonna have first hunt skunk, but we just saw a doe about 120 yards out, so hopefully the action picks up a little bit here at last light. White rack on him. Hopefully it comes right in the plot. We get a good look at it. Cool. Coming into the plot. Let's just hang tight, okay, tight. Okay. Man, that got exciting. They're pretty quick there at the end. We'll review that and take a look. I think it was Pretzel. Like when he came in, when he was standing out there for a while, I was having such a hard time because it was so dark identifying which buck it was. But man, when he came close, you could tell it was a big deer. So definitely an exciting way to kick off the season, and I'm itching to get right back in the tree. You know, it might fast track our timeline for this week. Maybe we can get out maybe Tuesday or Wednesday this week, but definitely be out for the cold front this coming weekend.
The following day, I used the mid-morning heat to my advantage and moved the redneck hay bale blind overlooking the heavy trail leading to water that the drop time buck stepped out on the evening before.
Well, 10 o'clock here, October 2nd. I've kept saying it, and I just really think we're already on a time schedule with this buck. You know, the corn comes out, it's going to shift everything, and frankly, I just don't think we have the best places to shoot him. And, you know, maybe this heat that we've got is really a saving grace, getting him up earlier on his feet. I think we're tied to his bed, confirmed that last night. I think the heat is incentivizing him to get up out of that bed to go drink, and then he's right there browsing on clover. So, see if it works.
We moved it 20 yards from here is where that buck went into the water. I saw him. We didn't get that on camera, but he came right down this pond dam, and based on what he did yesterday, he'll be broadside at 20. So this is the best that we can do. We're using this little natural grass line right here. It's got some shrubs in it as our back cover. Hopefully that'll help make us fit a little bit better than just being right out in the open. But it's the best we got. I think this was the move, and we'll find out tonight. Fingers crossed tonight we get a shot.
38 miles to the east, Caleb Greiner is also making the most of the morning. Rather than logging miles on foot, his foot is on the gas pedal, covering pavement and gravel in search of permission ground near Lucky's presumed fall range.
Not home. Not home. It's always good when you're walking back with a smile on your face, huh? We just got permission on the piece that I thought he was on all summer long. So now we're basically getting everything around where I've originally had permission for this deer and been getting him on camera. But he's off the farm right now. I mean, if he's off the farm, then we gotta go find him.
One of these bucks is on this farm. There's fresh rubs all up in here. That was gonna be mine. See these? It's walking literally through this. You see these fresh rubs? Dude, I mean, sure, there could be just some little bucks in here, but this is crazy big cover. Like, I bet this buck could literally be here, right now, within 50 yards. We've got water. There's water here in the creek. I'm fired up right now, boys. We came in here. This is the same permission that I just pulled. And we're finding big scrapes all over. There's really good bedding. It's right off the road, and I'm really thinking that this deer would probably walk by him. He's bedded right off the road. It is super nasty thick. It looks like it's shrubs and bushes that they were planted in rows. And it's really tight for bedding, beds all over. We didn't walk in it, because I think that's where he's at right now. All the crop got picked. Corn got picked all around us. There's water back here where we were getting photos of him in the summer. All those creeks dried up, and this was the closest water that was to him. So this is where I figured he was all summer. I just should have asked permission earlier. But we got 2 tracks in here. We're set, good to go. May get back out here for an observational sit, but I'm eager to see what these cameras show. I think this was seriously the piece of the puzzle that I was missing.
Riding the roller coaster of excitement of possibly locating the massive monarch, Caleb bails on the property for the evening and chooses to observe a different property that he can hunt.
We just got set up. This is my first sit for the Iowa 2023 season. But earlier today, we were getting a bunch of permission, and I just got a text from the landowner to the south of Lucky Farm. We picked up some more acres. We did, yesterday and today, we did a lot of door knocking. And we came up with, what did I say, 690 acres? I'm still waiting on one more. Had a great conversation with the guy, and felt really good about it. So I think we're gonna end up with 770 acres. The funny part about it is there's about 10 acres of cover out of those 770 acres in total. So we'll see what happens. I'm pretty excited to see what flows out of here tonight. Why does he look so framed?
Well, today was a productive day. We got a bunch of permission. Hopefully we're gonna start gaining some intel
with this lucky deer or this OG deer. My goals this year is one, I want to shoot a buck off the ground, and two, I want to kill one of those 2 bucks over on that lucky farm this year with a bow. So I'm eager to get back after it tomorrow.
I too was out hunting, tucked into the new spot on the edge of the pond. Though anticipation was high, hopes did not meet reality and the hunt was slow. The following day, October 3rd arrives, and Caleb Greiner makes his first hunt on what is now known as the Beaver Farm.
I'm thinking we slip back where that sprayer track is. We go out to that point, that CRP starts right here. Well, we just got settled in. We were on that new permission farm that I picked up yesterday. Scattered it yesterday, put a couple tracks cameras up on it, and what do you know? Today at 10:30 in the morning, we got a picture of what looked to be a pretty decent bodied deer. Definitely looks like a buck, but it could, to me it looks like a four-year-old or a mature deer. His left leg is extended, so his body, you're not going to see that sag as well. This is the farm that I've been thinking this deer's been living on all year, and the reason being is because last year, the only thing that changed from when he was 5 going to 6 was that this CRP got put in over here. It's 3 acres, and last year we had a very dry summer, so that creek was dried up over on the Lucky Farm. Well, we came in here yesterday, there's beavers that dammed up this whole creek, and all the water is sitting right here. So this summer, you guys think about it, you can't see it from the road. Very secluded, overlooked property. We have CRP for cover, we have shade in these trees, we have a creek that's full of water, and no one's coming back here whatsoever. This is so remote back here, so that's a good recipe for a bacon. So we'll see. Hopefully old Mr. King Kong Magnum comes out tonight.
While Caleb waits on Mr. King Kong Magnum to step out, 130 miles to the southwest, Owen Reigler is gearing up for his first hunt of the year.
All right, we're taking our one shot as promised. It's still pretty warm. I think the high was 83, 84 today. But it's cooled down a little bit. It's been 90. I got a good feeling about this wind, maybe getting him up out of his bed, moving before dark. We'll see. I really like this weather change with this wind picking up. It's been really still and stagnant the last 2 or 3 days with it being so warm. But we've got a strong south wind, and I'm gonna go into that stand that we hung the last time on the main show. I intended to hunt that with a southeast wind, but you need a certain wind speed to do that. You'd have enough wind speed today, but I'm gonna sneak up to that and test the wind, because there's a hill straight south of it. That's why I wanted a southeast, because I knew that'd stay more consistent. But when I get up to it, if that wind's staying consistent out of the south right there, we're gonna hunt that stand right there. I think that's the best odds for him. So let's sneak down there, check the wind, and see what it's doing right there by the stand. make that shot. You gotta believe. That's what we need. South wind. I really think they're gonna move. We've got one up in the alfalfa already, we can see. At least one. It looks like a big doe. I don't know. I'm pretty hopeful to see him tonight. Feels awesome to be out here. I'm not gonna do a lot of talking. I'm gonna be a little intense today, okay? We're after a little bitty deer, so we're just gonna settle in and be quiet. Thank you. Jeez, look at him just running for it there. Crazy. What the heck? We're having a pretty darn good sit right now. We got 3 bucks and a doe right out here in front of us. I just told Devon I really feel like he's gonna step out. I feel good about it. We'll see what happens. Well, we're down to about 10-15 minutes here. We still got a nice little buck just east of me right here in the green, working this way. But man, when I seen all the deer stirring like they were tonight, I had high hopes he was gonna step out. He still could, but light is waning pretty fast, so might be over for tonight, but it feels awesome to be out in this weather. A little surprised that deer moved as good as they did. We've seen a bunch. That cold front's coming in tomorrow. The afternoon we'll be back, and then the next 3 or 4 days with this cold front coming in, we'll be back out hunting all those days, so we'll see you guys then.
What's up, man?
Let's do it.
Let's.
Over the next few days, many members of the team get out for hunts, trying to scratch the itch while not burning out their best spots in preparation for the incoming breath of fresh air.
Well, guys, that wraps up my first of the year. Can't complain about it at all. I think the final tally is 13 does or small bucks. We obviously didn't have tight 10 work up the corn edge like I was hoping, but we've got this cold front coming in Thursday and Friday. Obviously, if Mike's hunting, I'll be filming him, but if not, I'll be back out and trying to make a game plan for this deer. Cat and mouse game starts now.
With the snap of a finger, the relief is finally here in the form of a cold front barreling through Iowa. Nearly 40 degrees of change lies between today's real feel and the season opener. With this change in mind, Drake Lamb makes his first hunt of the season, targeting the giant he's followed all summer known as the flyer buck.
First set of the year. I was hanging the cameraman set. A little 8-pointer was bedded right up in this little buck bedding area, whatever you want to call it. But he stood up and then he fed around for a little bit and then he's bedded back down. So
This is a good little funnel spot. It's a good little transition. These deer feel really safe in here because of the standing corn. It's secluded by this little 8-pointer. He feels pretty safe, so I'm hoping to flyer box up in here a little bit further in one of these draws that splits off from this main draw. There's a lot of good bedding. It's real thick in here, so fingers crossed he's in this draw.
That same evening, 70 miles to the southwest of Drake, Owen Reigler is making the march for his most anticipated sit yet.
Well, we're in bright and early today. It's only like 3:30. We have 4 hours till dark. But the conditions feel so good, I wanted to be here early. I'm not sure where this Loch Ness buck is, actually. Feels like he moved somewhere. I thought we seen him yesterday morning at first light, but I went and checked cameras today. I checked the cameras except for in this plot right here, and there wasn't a single picture of him, which is obviously concerning. I feel like he might have moved or something. But that scrape boot I gave him on is right up there. And I haven't checked that camera, so heck, he could be hitting that every day and I don't know it, but if he doesn't show up here today, I will be concerned about where the heck he is. I'll have to come in and check these cameras just out of necessity, I feel like. But we're gonna find out something this evening. Conditions are as good as you can get. Cold front's here. It's about 47, 48 degrees right now. Stiff northwest wind. It's maintaining like in the low 20s, gusting to 30, 35, so it's nice and cool. We got some east, southeast facing hillsides right here and here, which should be pretty good with this kind of wind speed. They're going to be out of the wind, so either side I could see them coming from. Let's sit in and see what happens. Yes! I'm fired off.
With deer beginning to move all around him, Owen scans the tree line for the flash of antler. That same afternoon, 130 miles to the northeast, Mike Reed is preparing to hunt a similar setup to Owen on the river farm.
Friday, October 6th, we are back out, actually in the same blind we were in yesterday. We're down at the river bottom farm, we're sitting over this turnip plot, hoping DK shows up. I've talked about this before. I'm not super confident being able to kill him early, but you never know. I mean, he was in this plot in daylight in the evening at the end of August and a little bit at the beginning of September. There's a little clover plot up the way that he's in sometimes in the middle of the night. So I think as all the corn comes out, there's more pressure surrounding the area that he's going to move more into the farm. At least that's what I'm hoping. So I think our best chance of getting him is going to be end of October. But you never know. With these kind of conditions in early October, anything could happen. And if he happened to work his way back into the farm last night and is bedded somewhere nearby, this is one of the best early season food sources I've got. So we'll see who shows up. It's crazy, the turkeys this year. There's some good looking lettuce out there, man. It's funny. That's easy. about 6:30, and that's the first good buck of the evening. That's the same buck that came under me last year at the head of the slough and sneezed a bunch of times under us. He's a nice looking deer. I do think he's a 5-year-old. He's got a pretty white rack.
Back in southern Iowa, Owen's action on the monster buck green plot continues.
We've already seen 17 deer, maybe 4 bucks. It's about as good as you can get. If he doesn't pop out today, I'll be surprised. On pins and needles waiting on him. Doesn't look like it's gonna happen today, man. We went from the highest of highs to, I don't want to say the lowest of lows, but tell you, a little disappointed. I thought for sure he'd show up. I just don't know where he's at. It might be one of those things too, you know, where they shed their velvet and they just go nocturnal. So, you know, maybe that's all he's done, but he hasn't been on camera either. We'll be back at it tomorrow. We'll see you guys then. My goodness, that escalated quickly. I had him at 55. I ranged him right there, and I was kind of considering it. It was low light. You know, if you ever make a bad shot, or at least for me, it's usually in a low light situation, so I really didn't want to take that shot. That's a long shot anyway, so something bumped a couple of deer that chased him up the hill. He ran up by the tree stand up there, and we watched him for a long time. Set in the blind about 15-20 minutes after dark, and then that blind sits right on the edge of a creek, so we climbed out of the blind down the bank of the creek, into the creek, and then walked the creek out. So I think we got out without bumping him, which was critical as far as I was concerned. But man, it's good to lay eyes on him finally. Pretty darn awesome. A little fired up. I doubt I'll sleep tonight. Man, we'll be back tomorrow. We'll see you guys then.
While Owen's hunt peaked at the end, the same isn't said about Mike and Drake's hunts, and the two pack up with their tags in hand for another day. Caleb Greiner also spent the evening hunting, but this time with girlfriend Casey Murray. Although the duo saw 0 deer while on stand, the time was enjoyed, and at the hunt's conclusion, Caleb turned his sights back to southern Iowa, where he needed to return in order to get some work accomplished. During the trip south, he can't believe what his eyes are seeing.
All right, we just wrapped up the hunt. Really slow, man. Another night where we got busted and skunked. But if you guys have been following along with the Lucky story so far this year, we got some good intel so far tonight. The farm that we've been hunting this week had an absolute giant show back up. Or I shouldn't say show back up, but we had a giant show back. I just said it again. We had a giant show up. And he's huge. And I just could not be any more pumped or excited. Shay and I are just stoked. And hopefully we can get after it. Get after one of these 3 bucks.
The following day, October 7th arrives, bringing with it the best hunting weather of the season. With sights still set on the buck known as Velveeta, Justin Lubrecht and Tyler Bellman are hitting the field in northern Missouri using corn rows for perfect access.
Well, we just got to the blind here. It's roughly 4:30 and the deer are already out here. It looks like there's 7, 8 deer. So we're gonna just play it safe here because we know he's bedded close. Just like that, that's why we planted that corn. There was 8 deer on the field and we got in here safe. Now they're just still out here eating, so that's a good sign. Well guys, here it is, October the 7th, and me and Tyler are up here at the main farm. We decided to come back here and hunt the big plot on the west end after a buck we call Velveeta. This is the plot where I was having all them encounters with him last year, and we finally had a cold front move through the area as it's just been hot and dry ever since season started here. I killed in similar conditions back in 2019 on October the 4th on a cold front just like this, so hopefully this will get Velveeta up on his feet. We haven't had very many pictures of him this year, but we just had a picture of him just to the south of us right here on this camera this morning, so we know he's bedded somewhere out in front of us here. And we had a lot of deer already out in the field when we got in the stand. Luckily, we got in here without busting anything off the field. So we're gonna get settled in here, and fingers crossed, Velveeta makes an appearance tonight.
While Justin and Tyler watch the field in front of them filled with deer, 210 miles to the north back in Iowa, Owen Reigler is making the walk to the same field he hunted the evening before.
Well, here it is, October 7th. We hunted here yesterday evening. We actually saw the target, the old Loch Ness Monster. He came out just before dark. But he was right there at 55 yards, feeding away. Then a couple other deer bumped him and he ran up the hill and over by that other tree stand we set up on the main show. Super high pressure, it's still cool, about 60 degrees. I would like to be in a tree stand, but this is the only set we have in this area for a west-northwest wind, which is what we have. We can hunt this on a west, west-northwest, or northwest. So we've got to hunt a blind. Can't get in a stand down here. But at any rate, it should be an excellent evening. We saw a pilot deer yesterday. We got this set right on the edge of a creek, so we can just exit, dump off the bank into the creek, and then walk the creek out, which is what we did last night. He was still up there feeding and we just skipped into the creek and got out of here, so I think we made a clean exit. We'll find out. I feel pretty good about seeing him. We'll see what happens. Pretty cool. If we get one tonight, we might have to put it on the other side of the headstone, so he's got 2. Well, it's just after 5 here. We've been here about an hour and a half. Got 4 does out. It's the first deer we've seen, so definitely slower than it was yesterday, but still a lot of time, so I'm hopeful. Go ahead, Cindy. Cindy. Here they go. He's out way early. Yes, sir. Coming right at us. Heart rate is up. Yes, sir. Come on, buddy. He needs to come down and nudge this doe and this little one. Closing the distance, big boy. He's down to 80. Oh, we got him. Dude, we got him, buddy. Dude, your dad's up there smiling so bad right now. You know what's crazy? I was just talking about him just before he stepped out. Dude, that is nuts. Oh my God. Celebrations. Go. Celebrate good times. Oh my word. Let him have it. Oh man, the adrenaline, dude, my back is just pulsing from adrenaline. Let's go, baby. What time is it? It's 6:46. Oh my gosh, this is nuts. Well, try and text my buddies. Let's gather up our gear. We might as well head up and just start getting stuff around. We'll wait to track him till the guys get here. I think everybody's hunting except for Josh. So we'll see if we can get him here.
Well, cold front hit. Joy and I just were at a wedding. We got the call. Loch Ness is dead. And that can only mean one thing. That means tacos to go
And Owen, we are on the way, brother. I cannot be happier for you. I've said this time and time again. So I don't know how many people, but Owen, his story, what he emulates is so inspiring for guys like me who are trying to chase that same dream. And so thank you, Owen, for all that you've shared with us and for allowing us to come be a part of this amazing journey. So we'll be there soon. Cannot wait to see this buck, but more importantly, cannot wait to see the smile when you put your hand on.
While Owen rounds up the troops to take up the trail, back in northern Missouri, Justin Lubrecht is anxiously scanning the tree line after receiving the news.
Well, guys, we're down to the last hour of daylight here. As you can tell, we've had deer movement pretty much all evening since we've been in the stand, and not gonna lie, me and Tyler have been on pins and needles. As every deer that steps into the field, we think it's that Velveeta buck. We just got word that Owen has caught up to that Loch Ness Monster buck, and hopefully we can add fuel to that fire and keep that streak going here this evening. Comes the other one too, around the corner. Oh, that's Nubbins. He's got them two nubs on his left side. Oh, Tyler, there he is. It's him. It's Vita. Let's get this window open. Well, guys, that escalated pretty quickly as we just had that encounter with Velveeta. I was looking at these bucks over to my left here, and I look over straight out, and there he was. He was out there about 80 to 90 yards, and we had these bucks to the left here, and he was coming in charging toward him, and I had the window shut, and obviously I couldn't get it open because they was on us. They were so close. He walked in within 20 yards, and I couldn't get a shot at him, and then he worked the other bucks off and never came back in. But it's just like last year when I had the exact same encounter with him, the exact same window that I couldn't get open in time, and he went right through the opening. So Oh, well, it's good to see him on his feet, and the first time we've seen him in daylight. We hadn't had any pictures of him in daylight this year, so hopefully he's moved in here and he starts doing just like he did last year. We're gonna catch up with that buck, but we were so close to adding that fuel to the fire and tagging along with Owen with that Loch Ness buck, but we'll be back at it, and hopefully we can catch up with him soon.
Got a whole posse with us. This is awesome. He's gonna, I bet you he is either in those tall weeds or just into the beans, I bet. Got blood right there? That didn't take long. Yes, sir. Got the whole posse with us. This is the first time I've ever been on a track job with more than 2 guys. It's awesome. The whole Midwest Whitetail crew. I've got a good friend, Chuck, with me. We went back and we watched the footage, and I put Devon in a little bit of a tough spot. We slowed it down and it looked like I hit him just left side of the shoulder. I was worried I got into the shoulder, but watching it back, I think it actually just missed the shoulder and hit the far shoulder. When he runs up the hill, he starts curling hard to the left, and I think that might be the end. I think he was curling hard to the left and he was gonna go down right there. So we'll take up the track and see what we got. Sure enough, here you go, yep. All through here, yeah, he's opening up pretty good right through there. Oh yeah, he's curling hard left right there, yes sir. Right there, right there, right there. This is starting to look good for us, and bad for him. He's opening right up. I smell him right now. Yeah, he's right here somewhere. All right, there's blood. Right there, boys. You called it. You could smell him. He didn't go anywhere. Sure enough, when he started curling to the left, he didn't make it very far at all. Come on, guys, take a look at him. Whoa! Whoa! What can you say about that? An absolute dream buck. Check out the velvet still. All of his points have got velvet. No words. What do you say? It's so cool to see what they do from year to year. You know, when he was 4.5, he had split brows like this. And then at 5.5, he cleaned up. He was just a straight up 10. And now look what he did. Just trashed up something crazy. Whew. No words. What do you say? 40 years of dreaming about that one. Thank you guys for coming out. That's what makes it really special. Not about me, it's about all you guys, the friends, and everybody that's helped me along the way, so that's what's important.
I passed it before, you say.
Oh, appreciate it. Yeah. What do you really say, you know? I mean, an absolute dream buck. Started out as a kid, you know, in Michigan hunting public land and fell in love with this. And I mean, this really is my dream. It has been for almost 40 years of bow hunting. Chased my dreams, you know, moved out here to Iowa, and this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to own, you know, 80 acres, 40 acres, whatever I could get. I wanted my dad to come out and hunt with me and chase things like this that really didn't seem like a reality, but you always dreamed about it. It's a special moment and definitely want to celebrate this and remember all the people that made this possible, because when you really think about it, these kind of successes and what I've done out here in Iowa, it's not really so much about you. It's about your team, you know, it's about all the people around you. And, you know, my mom and dad, I have to mention, my brother, Joe, another one that's, you know, just super important to me that I feel forever indebted to. You know, just so many people that have made this possible, and that's what this is about to me. That's what this means to me, is the team that's been around me that made me successful. They allowed me to
flourish, basically. You know, my parents always helped me, so it seems unreal to be sitting behind a deer like this, honestly. I mean, at 3.5, you could tell he was going to be special, but at 2.5, you really have no idea, and you just got to get the age on him, you know. You just got to see what they've got, and boy, he had it. That's just nuts. And then, you know, at 6.5, I've seen this in a couple other bucks. Picket fence would be another one that they just really zone into a tight core, and that's where they're at. They own that area. I call them like a king buck. They're the king in that area. They're probably not leaving, you know, and they're more huntable at that time. You know, at younger ages, they cover more ground. They're tougher to hunt. You know, at 4 and 5, he's pretty nocturnal. I just don't know what to say, you know. Super fortunate and obviously a dream buck. Appreciate you guys following along on the story of the Loch Ness Monster. I really hope you enjoyed the show.
And I just really think we're already on a time schedule with this buck. You know, the corn comes out, it's going to shift everything. Frankly, I just don't think we have the best places to shoot him. And
I think our best chance at getting him is going to be end of October, but you never know. With these kind of conditions in early October, there's a little clover plot up the way that he's in sometimes in the middle of the night. So
the farm that we've been hunting this week had an absolute giant show back up. Or I shouldn't say show back up, but we had a giant show back. I just said it again. We had a giant show up, and he's huge. And I just could not be any more pumped or excited. Shay and I are just stoked, and hopefully we can get after one of these 3 bucks.
It's a special moment, and definitely want to celebrate this and remember all the people that made this possible, because when you really think about it, these kind of successes and what I've done out here in Iowa, it's not really so much about you, it's about your team, you know, it's about all the people around you, and super fortunate and obviously a dream buck.
A dream buck indeed, and nobody deserves it more. Only 1 week into the season, the furious pace of buck activity sets the bar so high that even the distant rut may fail to match. As crops continue to disappear, new puzzles to solve emerge, holding our attention steadfast as the calendar pages flip. Every day brings new opportunities, and each crisp October breeze reminds us of one thing: the best is yet to come. With this certainty in mind, tomorrow we lace up our boots and step onto the road once more, embarking on the road to chasing November.